Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about graphing from slope-intercept form. So previously we had talked about how to write the equation of slope-intercept form from a graph. So today we're just going backwards. We're given the equation and now we have to graph the line. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a ruler or some sort of straight edge. So if you have an ID card or a bus pass or anything that is straight will work, but it is important that these lines are straight because we're going to be pulling off solutions, and solutions are points that are on the line. And if you don't have a straight line, then your solutions are not going to be correct. Okay, so we know how to find slope. Slope is how the rise over the run and everything like that. And we actually practiced recently, if you have a point, drawing a line with a given slope through that point. Now, to get the exact line that we want, we have to have an exact point in order to create that line. And that exact point comes from the y-intercept. So we always start at the y-intercept because in our slope-intercept form of y equals mx plus b, we're given two pieces of information. We're given the slope and we're given the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is a location. That's a bad L. It's a location, okay? And so that can give us a place to start. Okay, so once we start at the y-intercept, the next thing that we can do is use slope to get the next points. And remember, slope is the change in y over the change in x, or rise over run, whichever one you prefer using. Okay, and then it's really important that you have a minimum of 3 points on the graph. And the reason why I make you have 3 points on the graph is because let's say you accidentally count wrong the first time you use the slope. Well, if you count right the second time that you use it and you go to connect your lines using your ruler, you'll notice that one of the dots is not on the line, and then you'll know that you needed to correct it. So that's why we need to have a minimum of 3 points. So that's a requirement, okay? Then the next thing is, before you actually connect your dots, what I want you to do is check your slope direction. And what I mean by that is when you look at your slope, it's either going to be positive or negative. So based on that, you should be able to check, is it supposed to be increasing or decreasing? Okay, and as long as your dots are following that increasing or decreasing pattern, then you can connect your dots with the ruler. Okay, and then remember that solutions are the points on the line, and that they are always written as ordered pairs. So let's jump right on into it. So when we look at our first equation, we have y equals 3x minus 1. So our slope is 3, or we can write that as 3 over 1, because remember, we want to have directions. And then our y-intercept is at -1, but again, we always write that as a location, which is an ordered pair, so 0, -1. So the slope of 3 over 1 translates into up 3, right 1. Or you could do the opposite, which would be down 3, left 1. So now when I have this, I start at my y-intercept, which is 0, -1. And then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right 1. Up 1, 2, 3, right 1. And then I'm going to do a visual check again. Is this, my slope was positive. Positive means it should be increasing. So is this increasing from left to right? And hopefully say, yes, it is. And remember, let's say I had ran out of room. Instead of up 3, right 1, I could have also gone down 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, left 1. Okay. But now that I have my dots on, I can connect them like so. And then what I need to do is I need to write some ordered pairs. And I'm going to try not to write the y-intercept because we already wrote that one. So another ordered pair would be this one. That's at 1, 2. Follow my color scheme here. 1, 2. And then I have 2, 5. And then this one's at -1, -4. Okay. All right. So looking at this next one here, we have y equals 3/2 x minus 2. Okay. First of all, is this line going to be increasing or decreasing? Should have said increasing because the slope is positive. So we have a slope of 3/2 and a y-intercept at 0, -2. So I start at 0, -2, and then I would go up 1, 2, 3, right 2. So remember, 3/2 would mean up 3, right 2. Or remember, you can go down 3, left 2. You just do the opposite of what those are. So then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, right 2. And then, or I can go back here again. I can go down 1, 2, 3, left 2. I could have actually probably fit one more up there. 1, 2, 3, right 2. And if I check it, if we said it was increasing, is this increasing from left to right? And it looks like it is. So I'm going to connect them and notice how they're all on the line together. If one of those dots had not been on that line, it would have told me that I had made a mistake on my slope somewhere. And then I can pull ordered pairs off of my line. So like right here, that's -2, -5. That one is 2, 1. This one is 4, 4, I think. Now we could pull another one if we wanted to, but it just said to give 3 possible solutions. Okay. All right. Next one, is it increasing or decreasing? Okay, should have said decreasing because our slope is -2/5. Our y-intercept is at 0, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely can't fit another one, so then I'm going to go up. So remember, down -2/5 was down 2, right 5, or I could write it as up 2, left 5. So up 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, left 5. And then when I put my ruler on, looks like it's decreasing from left to right. And I couldn't quite get a third right on the line, so I'm just going to have to use my y-intercept this time. So my ordered pairs are -5, 5, 0, 3, and 5, 1. Okay. All right. So you guys are going to try the next one. So identify the slope, the y-intercept solutions, graph it. Don't forget to check it. Go ahead. All right, so my slope is -3/4. My y-intercept is at 0, 1. Since my slope is negative, it needs to be decreasing. So 0, 1. And then it's going down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, or up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. And that looks like it's decreasing from left to right. My ordered pairs would be at -4, 4, 0, 1, and 4, -2. So hopefully you got that one. All right, try the second one. Okay, so this one was a little tricky because there was no number in front of it, but when it's just an x, that's like a 1x. So my slope is 1. My y-intercept is 0, -4. And since the slope was 1, it should be increasing. So 0, -4, 2, 3, 4. Slope is 1, so I'm just going up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Increasing from left to right. And some ordered pairs would be 1, -3, 2, -2, 3, -1. And then you guys can try that third one. Okay, so my slope is -2 or -2 over 1. Y-intercept is at 0, 5, and since the slope is negative, it should be decreasing. So started at 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down to right 1, down to right 1, down to right 1, get a third one on there. Third other than the y-intercept, I should say, just so I can have 3 extra solutions. And then 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, -1. Okay, so that is graphing from slope-intercept form. So what we're going to take a real quick look at, these are super easy, but just graphing horizontal and vertical lines. This is also our zero slope and undefined slope. So a horizontal line is going to be horizontal is like this, okay? Vertical is like this, all right? So this one is going to have a 0 slope. This one is going to have an undefined slope. And we know that when it was a 0 slope, that was when the y's were the same. And when it was an undefined slope, that was when the x's were the same. We learned that when we were learning about slope. So what that means is that anytime it's a horizontal slope, that's going to be y equals a number. And anytime it's a vertical line, that's going to be x equals a number. Back that up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. There we go. Okay. So if you can kind of remember those or connect those dots, then anytime you have problems like these, they should be like super easy. Okay. So for y equals 5, this is a y equals a number 1. That means that the slope has to be 0. Also means it's a horizontal line. So all you have to do is go up to where y is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and draw a horizontal line. Okay. For x equals a number, it's always going to be an undefined slope. So its slope is undefined. Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't even finish that one. The y-intercept, it hit it at 5, right? So it was 0, 5, and then you could literally pick any point on this line, and what they're all going to have in common is that the y value is 5. And then you can pick any number you want to go there. So I could put 1, I could put 12, I could put negative 40. Doesn't matter what number you put there, as long as the y is 5, it'll work. Okay, so sorry. Going back to this one, anytime it's x equals, it's an undefined slope. This is where little man falls off and he dies. Okay. Then I go to x equals negative 2. So here's the x-axis. I go to negative 2, and this is a vertical line. So I draw a vertical line. And you'll notice, did it ever touch the y-axis? No. So this is none. The only time it's going to touch the y-axis is if it is the y-axis. So if it's x equals 0, that's the only time it's going to be touching the y, or it's going to have a y-intercept, okay? And then for solutions, it's kind of just like this, except for the opposite. All of the x's are negative 2, and then you can put whatever number you want for y. So I could put 0, I could put 50, I could put negative 100. You could put any numbers you want for the y values. Okay. All right, you guys are going to try the third one. So on this one, it's a y equals a number. So y equals a number, if we're following this, is going to be a 0 slope. Okay. And then we're going to go down to negative 4 on the y. 1, 2, 3, negative 4. And we're going to draw a horizontal line. It did touch the y-axis at negative 4. So 0, negative 4. You can fill in 3 ordered pairs. All of them will have negative 4 for the y value. And then you could have picked any number. I'm not going to fill those in since you did this one. Okay? All right. So now opposite, we're going to write the equation of the line. So I gave it to you, and we're going to write them. So just following these, I'm going to have you guys write the equation. So look, what kind of line is it? So what would it represent? So try to write the equation for this one. Okay, so this is a horizontal line, right? So horizontal line means that it has a 0 slope, which means the y's are the same. So that means that this has to be a y equals 1. And it's where all the y's are equal to 1, 2, 3. And if you're ever not sure, what you can also do is like write the ordered pairs. That ordered pair was negative 4, 3. This ordered pair was negative 1, 3. This ordered pair was 2, 3. This ordered pair was 5, 3. And what do you notice about all of them? All of them, y equals 3. Okay? Okay, last one. You guys try that one. Okay, so same idea here. Looking at it, this is a vertical line. So it has an undefined slope. And if I wrote down some ordered pairs, this would be 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. This would be 1, negative 5. This would be negative 2, negative 5, negative 4, negative 5, or oops, I wrote those all wrong. Just kidding. Negative 5, 5, negative 5, 1, negative 5, negative 2, negative 5, negative 4. Okay, so they all have that in common. So the equation for this is x equals negative 5. All right? So that's horizontal and vertical lines. Those should be your easy equations to write too, if you can just remember this top right here. All right, see you soon.